wouldn't it be nice to make meal prep easier? Instead of meal prepping for 3 hours, what if you only had a meal prep for 1 hour? Think of how much time and stress that would save you. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can not only expedite your meal prep process, but also how to make your meals more enjoyable, varied, and practical. Let's get started. One of the biggest traps I've seen people fall into is meal prepping from only the week ahead. Then at the end of the week, they have to meal prep again, and again, and again. This process repeats for the rest of our lives, and when life catches up, it can get exhausting since it's another chore on the weekend to-do list. We can make this process easier for ourselves by meal prepping for longer than 1 week. Let me explain. Most of us have jobs or other responsibilities where the only option to reheat food is a microwave. Rarely do we have the luxury of an oven or air fryer in the break room, but if you do, let me know in the comments below how awesome your break room setup is. With this in mind, our meal prep lunches are going to be fairly simple. We aren't going to be rolling out dough to make a pizza or grilling burgers or anything like that. Save the fancy stuff for dinner when you have more time and tools to work with. Each meal mainly consists of a lean protein, a starchy carb, possibly fibrous carbs, and maybe some healthy fats in there to add flavor. A regular starchy carb of mine is sweet potatoes. So what I'll do is buy a crap ton of potatoes that I know will last 10 to 15 meals, cut them up, put them on sheet pans, and batch cook them all and pop them in the freezer, so that way I'm good on my starchy carbs for 2 to 3 weeks instead of prepping them every single week, in addition to the other things I had to meal prep. The same principle applies to not only carbs, but proteins as well. I'll get 5 to 6 pounds of chicken breasts and batch cook them so I'm good for the next 2 to 3 weeks as well. If I eat 8 ounces at every meal, then that's 10 to 12 days worth of meals already prepped for in one afternoon. Not too shabby. This not only ensures I have one less thing to worry about for the next 2 to 3 weeks, but it also clears up room if I want to meal prep anything else the next time I do so. This goes into another concept I've been toying around with, what I call meal prep stacking. Let's just say the very first week of meal prepping, you take my advice and cook 10 meals of sweet potatoes and 10 meals of chicken breast. And you only eat those during the 5-day work week. This has you covered for 2 weeks. The first week you'll dip into 5 of those meals, but on the second weekend of meal prep, you don't need to meal prep those sweet potatoes or chicken breasts. So what do? You cook something else up since you save yourself some time. So you might get 4 to 5 pounds of carne asada and cook that up. 8 ounces a meal lands you 8 to 10 meals of carne asada, and you still have 5 meals of chicken breast left over from the weekend meal prep before. So now for lunch, you have the choice of either chicken breast or carne asada for a lean protein option. You've introduced variety into your work lunches. Scary, I know. You can apply this to breakfast, snacks, lean proteins, carbs, you name it. You don't have to eat the same thing every day in order to build your dream physique. It definitely helps to have options so you can better stick to your calorie and macro goals and open up new choices if you're not feeling like eating the same thing for lunch every day. Another overlooked variable is flavor options. You can completely change your lunches with different kinds of sauces and seasonings. I'll regularly mix up my meats with a teriyaki sauce or a taco sauce or with salsa or guac. So now I have 2 lean protein options and 3 to 4 sauces to choose from, in addition to whatever carb options I choose to mix and match meals to my pleasure that day. Dry seasonings can also slap hard on a dish. I've been using the Flavor Bomb burger seasoning and it works wonders with most lunches I mix and match with. What can save even more time meal prepping is choosing meals that don't require much of anything really. It's not uncommon for me to get a 4-pack of naan bread and use that as a starchy carb for my lunches that week. Since it's already made and has similar calories and macros to the sweet potatoes, I'm not taking a hit calorically, and all I have to do is put them in a plastic Ziploc bag and my starchy carbs are mostly made for that week. Stone Something Rather has a couscous mix and a Spanish rice mix that is as easy as microwaving some water, your seasoning pack, and olive oil for 5 to 6 minutes. I think like 20 minutes or so for the Spanish rice mixture, pouring that mix in and then letting it sit for 5 minutes. After this is done, you can portion out into 3 or 4 meals. 3 to 4 meals of starchy carbs in 10 to 20 minutes with a little effort. It's almost too easy. I've been focusing a lot on lunches, but these same concepts and tricks can be applied to breakfast and snacks as well. Whatever you gotta do to top meal prep at 3 hours, preferably 1 or 2. I personally found meal prepping for more than 3 hours can be exhausting and I end up regretting it. The goal of meal prep is to make it as easy and quick as possible while maximizing on flavor and variety to keep you consistent throughout the week. Along with that, I usually don't try to meal prep more than 3 things in one go. For example, I might do sweet potatoes for 10 to 15 meals, chicken breast for 10 to 12 meals, and an egg bake for 5 meals on week 1 of meal prep. In week 2, since we covered for this week's starchy carbs and lean protein from last week's meal prep, but I still need to do breakfast, I might do 4 to 5 pounds of carne asada, egg bake, and protein pancakes. So meal prep stacking for lunches and breakfast now, and then this will feed into week 3 of meal prep, so on and so forth. Before you know it, you'll have meal prep stacked and prepped so far in advance that you may only need to meal prep one thing or nothing at all. Can you imagine that? A week of not having any meal prep. Let me know what you would do if you didn't have to meal prep for a week. I know I like to chill and play video games or read a book. Then to make things go faster in the kitchen, I recommend much less cutting and chopping than you normally would do, like about half as much. Let me explain. Let's say I'm cooking those sweet potatoes and I gotta cut up 10 of those suckers. Instead of chopping into smaller bite-sized pieces, what I'll do instead is cut them into bigger chunks, so that way I spend less time cutting raw sweet potatoes and more time doing what I love, which is basically doing absolutely nothing. This works the same for lean meats such as chicken breasts. Instead of cutting them up into bite-sized chunks, I'll cut them in half lengthwise so they are thinner. This ensures they take much less time cooking, unless there's a chance of overcooking the chicken, meaning juicier chicken breasts and less time cooking. Then if I need them in smaller chunks, I'll use kitchen shears once they are cooled down to quickly slice and dice them up. I only have to clean the shears instead of a big, cumbersome cutting board and a sharp knife. And lastly, make use of different cooking implements. If you have the sweet potatoes cooking in the oven, then cook the carne asada on the pan at the same time, and then the Spanish rice mixture in the microwave. Maximize the tools at your disposal. Well guys, I hope this video helped you save time on meal prep. Click the like button if you found this video helpful, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.